Another problem about a crowd. A crowd comes in, a crowd mentality will cause you to follow the noise and not the noise maker. They were following the signs and the wonders of Jesus, but not Jesus himself. These two crowds come together. And when they come together, Jesus begins to look and see what's happening. And I like this about him because he begins to deal with this widow. This widow is dealing with loss. Everybody say loss. Something that was precious to her, something that was special to her is now gone out of her life. She doesn't have the benefits of the touch, of the communication, of the conversation. She doesn't have the ability to look upon and desire and understand. She don't have any of that anymore. It's gone. The promise of love and long life was gone. We should grow old and be able to enjoy the company. But yet and still, we have nothing. It is gone. Everybody say gone. Her tomorrow was taken away, and her today now ain't even worth living because everything that I thought was sacred and good is gone from me. And then her son dies. We understand this because she was a widow. And every time she looked at that son, she saw in him your daddy's eyes. You walked the way your daddy walked. Remember how you fix your belt? Your daddy fixed his belt like that. Every time she looked at her son, she saw something of her husband who was now gone in him, and now he's dead. What can I do here? Jesus did something. Jesus had compassion. Everybody say compassion. See, that's the problem. Most Christians don't have compassion. If you have something bad happen to you, it's just too bad for you. You shouldn't have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is God just dealing with you. Jesus didn't say that. Jesus came and dealt with her because he had compassion. We got to get back to being real Christians. Look at your neighbor and say, it's time to be a real Christian again. Show some real love. Can I tell you something about compassion? Compassion has two different elements to it. Number one, compassion is a sympathetic consciousness of others' distress. That means I have to have empathy. Number one, I have to be able to see you and not go through what you're going through, but feel for you while you're going through it. I don't have to enter into sin to understand your perception in there. I just have to have a feeling of what you're going through. And then the second part is love. Everybody say love. And I feel like alleviating the distress from you. I can't do that unless I love you first. I find that when I can't love you, I got to love the Jesus in you. Look at your neighbor and say, I may not always love you, but I always love the Jesus in you. Come on, give him a hug and say, I love you. Now give God a praise. Come on, come on. Jesus then begins to speak to her.